All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our GlossGenius community workshop. I am so excited for tonight. Welcome, everyone. We have a very special guest in-house with us tonight on the GlossGenius stage. In a second, I'll welcome Lexi, and she can introduce herself. I just want to make sure that everyone gets settled. Welcome to our workshop all around building your authentic business brand. I see some folks are playing around with the reactions. Feel free to share that energy with us. Tonight is all about being present, being real, or keeping it real, and really just trying to become the best version of ourselves. And so I want to share that energy across the board. We've also got a chat function so that everyone can participate. We want to get your feedback throughout this call. What's resonating with you? Do you agree with someone who's speaking up? Are you feeling inspired with something that Lexi or I or someone in the community is saying? Please share that. And then finally, we do have a questions tab, and this will be a great way for us to organize all the questions for Lexi and ways that we can compile some really thoughtful requests to understand this topic deeper. So without further ado, I would love to introduce Lexi Lomax to the GlossGenius stage. Lexi, please say hello.
What's up? Oh my gosh, so cool seeing you all this popping off in the chat. I'm like, you guys are hyping me up. I thought I'm the hype man. What's going on? This is amazing.
I am your hype man tonight.
Oh my gosh. Hi guys. I am Lexi Lomax. I'm so pumped to be here. I am a GlossGenius user. When Gloss said, "Hey Lexi, want to hang out?" I'm like, duh. I'm here. So I am a salon owner, a salon business coach, and a hairdresser, just like most of you guys. I am in it. I'm literally, I worked behind the chair today. That's what I do. So I have been a salon owner for the last 18 years. And so that's something that I truly completely understand, right? Salon ownership can be really tricky, but the thing that makes it not tricky is when you know what the heck you're doing. And that comes from having an authentic brand and knowing what that actually even means to you. So I'm really excited to be here, talk about all these things, and just hang out with you guys. So I'm here for it.
Yay! That's what I feel like we do with our community events too, is we're bringing new folks to the table all the time. And I am so excited to welcome you tonight, Lexi. You have a very special spark, and what you give not only as a mentor and a podcast host and an artist behind the chair at the same time, you are an inspiration. So I can't wait to crack the code of how you've done it so that others can learn from and be inspired by you as well. So quick housekeeping. This is going to be our agenda for tonight. We're going to cover what an authentic brand means and why it matters for your business. And we're going to touch base on how to build that brand strategy. What are some easy building blocks that Lexi has learned and has through her experience behind the chair for almost 20 years and having experience and wisdom around that process, the highs and lows, the what to do's, what not to do's. And then we'll also talk about how to design your client experience so that you're continuously bringing new eyes and new faces into your salon or your spa or your business setting, and also retaining them for future as well. So I think it'll be a really fun packed night. I'm so excited. Monique, thank you for that shout out. I am so excited. Falcon, I see your question. Nobody's going to be able to hear you unless you join stage tonight. So I'm actually really excited that you asked that question, because we do encourage every one of you to engage in the chat and the reactions, and please do ask questions. And then a couple lucky folks will get an opportunity based on a raise of hand or volunteers to join the stage with Lexi and I tonight and talk about a problem that you're working on, or maybe a question that you have, or something you're kind of coming to terms with and you want to chat about it with us. Because if it's something you're thinking about 9 times out of 10, someone else is thinking that. And we want to create community over competition. This is the place for us to have brave conversations. And yeah, that's what we're gonna do tonight. So wherever you are coming from in the country, I'm so excited to welcome each of you. Lexi, I think the best place for us to start is really a question for our community in general. So has anyone ever done a word cloud before? Go ahead and take your phone and scan this QR code. I'm going to share a screen that will give you a website and a code. Just a second. Let me take my screen here. Okay. All right, so I've got a question for all of you. What does authenticity mean to you in the context of your salon or your business or your brand? Feel free to go to menti.com, that's MENTI.com, and use this code that's on the screen right here. It's 2273-7318. Okay, I'm seeing some words added to this cloud. Lexi, this is what I meant by our GlossGenius community is like
so cool. This is amazing.
Yes, this is such an amazing way to see, okay, thinking about out of this world, authenticity meaning real, friendly, important, powerful, results driven, yes, being yourself, consistency. Oh, they're going so quickly. This is probably the most
comforting is so good.
This is the most active word cloud. I'm going to need to slow it down.
Our cloud is popping.
Yes, it's popping. Unique, transparent, self-aware. Love that. Hello.
Memorable.
Inspired, vulnerable.
This is great.
Cleanliness. That's great.
I need to take notes.
Yes. We'll send this word cloud to each of you and everyone who's joining tonight as well.
That's
amazing. Amazing. Okay. I'm going to leave this up here for just a second, but I think what this is saying, Lexi, is that everyone's thinking about this. How do we be the most genuine and authentic version of ourselves, not only in our personal lives, but throughout our business values as well? And how do those business values show up in every single strand of our business? No pun intended. I want to give folks an opportunity to share in the chat. If you weren't able to join in on the word cloud, please do share in the chat. We would love to hear, like, what are you thinking of when it comes to authenticity? Brittany, I love this comment. This is your first live with GlossGenius. Hey from Cincinnati. Decided to join because I'm newly independent and a business owner. Brittany, you've done the hardest part. Welcome. We are so excited to welcome you. This is awesome. Okay. Unique. Individuality. Your true self. And I'm seeing folks in the chat. And experience. Yes, Natasha. Diversity, Nadia, absolutely.
Yeah. Genuine, yeah. Also, her first chat, Shayla, way to go.
Hey, Shayla, welcome. Absolutely. Hippie, you're so right. Being honest, not only with your clients, but with yourself too. Representing your creativity with your dream client. Wow, guys, this word cloud is popping off. Okay, we will share this, and I wonder if maybe even saving this as an image, if you're coming in on your phone, like take a screenshot. Maybe you could make this the background of your phone or something that you can look at often to feel like connected and know that you're not alone when you're thinking ahead. And this could be in the context of how you run your team, how you make decisions for your business.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay. So scooching back over here, I wanted to just also remind folks that we are going to be doing a special giveaway at the end of this call, and it's a special giveaway from Lexi and her coaching business. Do you want to give us a little preview, Lexi, of what the actual prize is so that when at the end of this call folks participate, they know what they're getting?
Yeah, heck yeah. I feel so exciting to be the prize.
Of course.
So it is a 30-minute strategy session with me where you just get my brain, and strategy is my wheelhouse. It's the thing that actually drives me and that allows me, I see things people just don't see. And that's just like, I don't mean to sound braggadocious or whatever, but it's just the truth. And I love that gift because it's so fun to help people see things that's possible for them. So we are going to strategize the heck out of whatever it is that you want to have happen in your beauty business, and you get me and my eyes full 30-minute strategy session, not something that you can actually pay for. So
Exactly. So at the end of this call, we will give the instructions on what to do. Stay tuned to the end. Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Let me start off by doing this. I'm going to take away the slides and let's just get cozy and dive in. Lexi, what has being authentic done for you in your business?
oh my
And
gosh.
what does that mean to you?
So yeah, I was like, what am I gonna ask? So I feel as though my, like, when I look at authenticity in my business today, it's a lot different than what it was 18 years ago. And I think it's important to know that it's okay to have an evolution of what that means to you, because as humans, we're allowed to grow, and so can these parts of our business. So a long time ago, I had all kinds of different things going on. But I was authentic to that moment of time, to that season. But now I understand, if you can really hone in on that, it's going to give you so much more leverage as a business owner. And that's really important if you like money. And so I do. And so it's really important that I know that and that I recognize that. And so to me, authenticity means showing up as my very best self for myself first, but then for my business, and as an extension of my business, my clients, my team, customers, guests, whatever, insert your words here, stylists, renters, any of the people you work with, people that you share air with, right? Because when you're in the salon, or I think a piercing specialist, like I'm seeing, like there's some different things. It's not everybody here is just hair. That whatever your space is, that's a really magical, exciting thing that you hold. Like you hold space there. And so to share that space needs to come from you first, from like the truest sense. Because if you show up and you're pretending, we've all done it. We all went through 7th grade, right? I was there, right? So you know what it feels like to be weird and like not like, you're like, is this what I'm supposed to say? Like, what am I like? That's why I'm so excited to be here, because you were like, we don't care, just do you. I'm like, no. Thank you. But like, we all get that. And in our businesses, you think you're supposed to like do the thing. You're supposed to do whatever everybody else is doing. And so like, that's kind of BS. You're supposed to do what you're supposed to do. Otherwise you wouldn't have got the nudge from wherever you get nudges from, you know? So I think that for me, authenticity means showing up as my best self first for myself, and then it extends forward. One thing that I really wanted to say, like around like what it means and how I do that in my business, is by having core values, so that yes, I need to live it and show up as me, but I've really thought about that and put it on paper so that other people can also emulate that if they want to work within my 4 walls as a salon owner. It also is important for me to share those core values with clients, because it also is an extension of what we expect from our guests. Now, I'm not one of those people that like barks orders and makes people do like, you know, like a freaking marathon to be my client, but there's a level of like respect that we just need to like set the tone. And when you know who you are and what you're doing and who you do it for, it's going to be a lot easier.
Okay, guys, 15 minutes in, we have our first mic drop. Okay, this usually doesn't happen until the ninth inning. I am okay. First things first. We on the GlossGenius stage, we always like to keep it real, because that's what we know resonates the most with humans. And if you're a human who happens to be in this industry, regardless of what kind of business you are running, and regardless of whether you're using GlossGenius, we want this to speak to you. And at the end of the day, I'll always go back to this community over competition, and we can learn so much from one another. And I can't tell you how many times we have had conversations like this, not as special as someone like Lexi Lomax to join us. I mean, I can't believe that you're making us blush, because we are lucky that not only are you this sort of big sister for the industry. Yes, I just branded that.
Thank you.
Without your permission. But you're also one of us, and you are a part of our GlossGenius community. So I would love to know, what are some of the building blocks that helped you craft your brand identity? Because you wear a lot of hats. You're also a mom.
Sure. Yeah.
And I feel like when you're a mom, you got to cut the BS. You just got to be real. There ain't no time for anything else.
For real. For real. Yeah. So, and I saw somebody ask, like, what are those core values? And so for my life, I don't necessarily have core values in my life. Like, that's something, that's a term or a phrase that I use in business, that I want to craft them for my business because they need to be shared and upheld. So core values at the salon are very different than priorities that I hold for myself as a human. And my priorities, all of us have priorities. So that's something like, you know what they are. And if you don't know what they are, you just look at where you spend your time, right? Like, you'll easily get to see them. You might say you love spending time with your family, but if you're a workaholic, like, your priorities are not actually, you're not honoring them, right? So that's a whole other conversation. We don't have to go there tonight. But for me, my priorities, right? Like,
join us for part 2.
Right. And I'll get in my therapist chair, but like, you know, and that stuff, like, look, if you want to be good at business, you got to be good in here. So like, it's just the bottom line. And so like, those are things I encourage you to work on. I have a therapist. I love Dr. Kat. She's my girl. Like, and that makes me a better human and business owner. Yeah. Christine says facts. Exactly. Facts. And that's what we're here to talk about, but we're being real and we're being honest and we're sharing it all. So like, it's just the truth. However, when it comes to core values, you show up with different intention when you set them. And so I already forgot your question, Danny, but I'm just going to answer this one that I saw in the chat. Please. But in my salon, our number one core value is community. And our second is excellence in hospitality and service. And so you can see how those as core values would be really, really poignant. And if anybody sends me a DM on Instagram, I will send you like our full doc and you can just literally look at it. I wouldn't encourage anyone to just like rip it off because it won't be authentic, but you could see what it is. Right. So I'm willing to do that. So anybody sends me a DM, it might take me a while because there's a lot of you on here, but I will send it to you. So beyond that though, like, you have to think about, okay, community, like, what does that mean? That can mean a lot of different things. So I have to outline that. For me, it's that, yes, we are interested in our like physical community, right? Like the town that my salon is in or the city or whatever. But that's not exactly how I define community. It's that we are communal. Like, we work for each other. We work with each other. Like, even though people are independent, some are employees, like I've got the gamut. We work together. We are communal. We have a common goal, right? And then excellence in service and hospitality says a lot, but this is just something that I would encourage you to really think about, is that service is the thing that you do. Hospitality is how they feel. And your brand, which is what we're here talking about, needs to encompass both of those things. And it needs to show up in every aspect of every piece, whether that's booking and having like really good communication with your client, or whether that's the hug you give them at the end of the appointment, which would be hospitality, right? And not to mention like the actual service, right? Like, is their haircut okay? Right?
Yeah, artistry aside, and I think like that is one strand of your authenticity, be showing yourself through the art that you create, or showing yourself through hospitality, and honoring those values throughout those business decisions. My I think what I'm getting, especially reading all of these chats, is that this is all learned skills that happen through time and trial and error. So for that someone who said that they're 1 year out from when they got their license, I bet in 5 years or even 5 months from now, you will have learned so much in making those choices, whether they're the right ones or not. It's all about trying that out. Um, I would love to know, in terms of brand identity, was that like how did you come up with those values? I think in terms of like, did you just sit down and write them? Do you have a team that you're a part of? And tell us a little bit about your salon and how that works.
Yeah, so I have 20 gals that I work with who are just the most amazing humans. They are literally my family. We are a family, but that is because of the core value and community, right? Like, it's not because I said they're my family. It's like because that happens because of the intention that I have behind everything. But when I created my salon, I have a wild story, and like I just was like, I'm doing it, right? And I thought, I want to create a place that people can come, that they feel really welcome. You get an elevated service, but it's not so fussy, because if you 20 years ago, you guys, things were a little bit different. We didn't have Instagram, Facebook barely existed. You have to have college login. Like, I mean, literally, I'm from the Stone Age here. So like, it was so different, and there was only like really fussy or like kind of the grandma salon, and I was just like, I don't want to go to either of those. Like, that doesn't feel good to me. So on actual accident, or perhaps divine intention, my salon was created out of like need and a personal desire. And when you put desire with need, you win. And so I didn't sit down at that point. I was such a rookie. I was so young. I was just like hell on wheels, like, let's freaking go. So naive and such a gift, but like not always good, right? Like, it just like, we're here, but like, went through some stuff to get here. And it's a matter of figuring out like what that was. So as you were saying, you're going to learn and grow. And that's exactly what I did. But I always knew that I wanted people to feel a certain way in my business. And I wanted to serve like a purpose. Like, we had a point. I'm always asking my students, what is the point? What is the point? What is the point? Simplify it, boil it down, simpler, more simple, more simple. And so I kept that as like a guiding light. And then I got people, and the people came in and they started to F with my situation, And I was like, well, we're going over there. Correct. Bringing it back. We're fired. Like, you can stay. I like that about you, but like, this doesn't feel good. And so it truly was learning. And a lot of lessons where I had to know, like, I had to be strong in what I actually believed in. And while some of the things, like, maybe we went over here a little bit, because as an owner, like, your team can really disturb the foundation that you set. They can also build upon it and take you to the freaking moon, but also they could really like wreck your shiz. So like,
Organically, because that's just what happens when there's multiple brains and styles and abilities as well.
Yeah. And that's why as an owner, it's like, you have to live and die by what you put out there. Otherwise, you're going to get walked all over, even with the people with the best intentions, the sweetest, kindest heart, the best hairdresser, like, these sort of things. Like, the biggest diva is always the one that makes you the most money. But you can't let that be the thing that guides your culture, that guides your core values, that guides what you stand for, and how. And the reason why this is also important is because it's what makes you freaking money. Because you take what your business is about and you have to share it. You have to share it. And you have to be like in it, in all the things. Like, you can't just show up in person. I have something in my signature program, Salon Quarterly, where we show up and we do the 3-part promo. We're online, we're in salon, and then we're on social media. Social media is not online. It's a whole animal, right? So you have to do the same thing. You need omnipresence as you build in each of those. And the only way to have that is to know what the F you're doing in the first place, right? And we think we do because we picked a font and we picked a brand color, but that is not it. That's not it. That's one way to show something cute, maybe, but like, if it doesn't have emotion or feeling behind it, it's kind of tough. And I do think that you can build an awesome brand being an independent stylist or with an assistant or a small team, and you should build a brand as an independent. Like I have a brand behind the chair, but it mirrors and pairs nicely with my overall salon brand, because as a salon owner, that's my job, to be that beacon of what that is. And once you do that, you get the magnet effect. The right clients come to you, the dream clients, the perfect stylist, the perfect fit, the perfect assistant, even the perfect window washer. Like they feel it, right? Like you're not going to get people because they get it. You can see it, you can feel it, which is so much more important. So I think that it's one of those things that it doesn't just happen. It does take time. The biggest exercise, if you don't know what your core values are, and if you don't know like where to start, and you're just like, oh my gosh, this and that, you know what I bet you do know is stuff you hate.
Yep.
I bet you know stuff that you hate. And so I would sit down, and this is an exercise I love to do this because it's fun, but also, and I make a hell yes and a hell no list. I also make my assistants do this when they are going to show up and like start to build their business. And so it's like, what are you going to do? What's a hell yes and what's a hell no? And then I'll just, gently with leadership poise, put some hell no's on their list, things that they do, because those are not good things if you want to build a business, right? But as a salon owner, if you're looking to build your core values in this way, you put the things like, think about the worst stylist you ever had. What did she do? Those are all hell no's. And from there, you'll be able to pick the silver thread that weaves it all together. And you'll see that there are things that like you really, really feel are important, and things that you really feel are important to not have. And then you work backwards, because your core values should be positive, right? Of course. And so you can really do that. And something else that I really lean on after I make this list, and I share this with my staff, and we can even do this as a salon. I will say as a leader in my salon who's steadfast and my feet are in the concrete, like I'm not going anywhere, I will guide conversations where I already know the answer. And it's like, they know that if you're with me, you're with me. And if not, like, we're open to discuss this, but we're probably still going where I said, and that there's a level of respect there, and it's all in delivery and leadership and this sort of stuff. But it's definitely important to just know like what's important to your business. And I see that there's a question. I feel like I need examples of core values that aren't personal. So like community, right? So Christine, community is a huge core value for us. Also, respect is a core value. Like, I mean, respect is huge. It's our last one on the list, but it's almost the most important. We respect our clients and we respect each other. And most importantly to the salon owner, I'm not going to lie, we respect the salon. Like, don't leave color, don't get color on the wall. Like if you do, like, let us know, like these sort of things. Right. I would say my leadership style, I don't know if I should be answering these questions like this, but you just rein me in for me.
You're doing great.
My leadership style is actually quite passive, because my agreements are so incredibly aggressive and straightforward. So like when you start to work with me, you know the rules of the game. We're both playing Monopoly. We got the rule book. It's clear. I know what you need to do. You know what I need to do. And if we don't do those things, then my leadership style becomes very direct, as you can probably tell.
I think this is my favorite part about you, that chutzpah. I'm about to ask you what your birth chart is. We could talk about that later.
Okay. I'm a Libra, which is probably why I'm very lenient until I'm just not. Right?
I love that. You know the choices, and you like options. Honestly, the hell yes and hell no, that's a keeper.
Yes, if it's not a hell yes, it is a hell no. Like there's no middle ground in these things, because you put too much on the freaking line. Like you probably, it doesn't even matter if you are the brand new, just entering, and you're going to just go be, forgive me. If you're going to start your career as an employee stylist somewhere, that takes guts, and you put it all on the line to get there. And then the next step will be bigger, and the next step. So like whatever it is, if it's opening a salon, obviously that's more money and more investment, just like data driven, like obviously, but it's still a big investment for you wherever you are in that season of life. And so you have to respect that and know what the heck you're doing it for.
100%. Lexi, we've been talking a lot about the core values and the brand identity that you have for yourself
Yes.
as an artist. And we talked about what it means to have those core values for your team or
Yeah.
your salon
Hmm.
foundation.
Yeah.
How does that translate to clients? How do you communicate your core values to clients? I'm sure intrinsically through the people that you hire,
Right.
but tell us how your clients keep coming back through your brand that is authentic to you at the apex, but then
Hmm.
everyone that is coming under you as well.
Yeah, super important question because a lot of people write stuff down on paper, kind of like your goals at the beginning of the year.
Yep,
And then, like, where'd they go? Like, what does that mean?
totally.
So
Absolutely.
you can write core values down. And if you don't embody it 100% of the time, especially as a leader, and if you are an independent working by yourself, you still need to embody it 24/7 because you're the only one that's going to. Like, it's almost more work. But so you start by like saying, are these things that I can actually live up to? Right? Because if you're putting on there that you're the most luxurious, like if your core value is luxury and you're going to be the most luxurious and fanciest and whatever, and like sometimes you just don't want to wear fancy to work, and you don't, like, you want to be a more, like, that's not actually who you are, like that would never work for me. Like I would get fired. So like I'm not going to set myself up for failure in the first place, right? That to me is very, very important. Yeah. Sporty Spice, all good. Oh man, you got to go check out. There is an Instagram post that is on my, I'm like in the last month that is popping off about that whole thing about wardrobe at the salon. But you know, it's one of those things that embodiment is good. And what the hell does that even mean? It just means you show up and do you, and you are authentic. So you have to make sure that it's the same thing, like on paper, that you can actually do, right? And then you just do it. You show up and be you. The easiest way to have to build an authentic brand is to be yourself. And you have to, in order to,
Yeah.
like, you know, and this is something that I think you're going to be like, oh, dang it. Like, here we are back in her therapy office. But like, just because you know who you are doesn't mean that you know yourself. You know, like,
Yep.
I'm Lexi, I'm a mom, I'm a hairstylist, like, I own a salon, I'm a business coach, I'm a podcaster. Like, I have all these titles. It doesn't tell you jack diddly about me.
Lexi, look at the chat right now. You are hitting the spot. Could you say that again for the people in the back?
Okay, let's see if I can remember. No, but I mean, it's true. Just because you know yourself, or just because you know who you are, it doesn't mean that you know yourself, right? And there's a really, like, what do you like? Like, do you do anything that you like to do today? Like, do you do anything today that you like to do when you're 7? Because that's who you really are, right? Like, I like to tap dance in the grocery store when I was 7.
Honey, a 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
Everyone, if you've been to these events, you know we slip in a musical theater reference
Okay,
as
that is
much
so good.
as possible. But that's kind of like what I do
Yeah.
with community and how that's like my special sauce. And I think everyone's got to figure out how to infuse those organic strands of who you really are throughout your business. And I also want to just give a shout out, if you're working in a salon that you don't own, you can still be an individual, have your own individual core values, and let those be
Yeah.
authentic to
And
who
still
you
honor
are.
the salon, right? Like, it
Of
doesn't mean
course.
that you're in opposition. It just means that you're cousins, and it's good. You work together, you know?
Absolutely. Okay, I want to give someone a chance to join us
Yes.
because we have such an amazing
Be looking
chat
for it.
tonight. I feel like we've got people busting at the seams. Is there anyone who would like to share a problem that we can attempt to solve together, or that you want to share something that you're working on, or that you're thinking about in terms of an authentic business decision or a brand? Okay, I see Hippie. You are the first person who has come up, and I want to be fair. Hippie, if you would let me invite you to participate, and then it shall Kim, we are so happy that you joined us today too. Everyone this is your first workshop, I am so excited to welcome you, and I can't wait to find out how you found out about this workshop. I mean, honestly, this is what it's all about. It's about helping folks feel included and safe and brave at the same time. Okay, what's up, Hippie? I'm so excited to welcome you to the Gloss Genius stage. Feel free to
Hi.
share your camera or not. It's totally up to you, but welcome. I'm Danny. This is Lexi.
Hi.
Up.
How are you guys?
So good. So, okay, what can we help you with today?
Okay, so like I have a piercing business. I teach classes and I'm trying to figure out a way how to expand my business. And I know it costs a lot, but I'm trying to figure out how to expand it without spending so much money and still getting it out there for the world to see.
Mm-hmm. What's your number one profit driver service? What's that service? Tell me like the thing that you do the most of that makes you the most money.
I said the piercing. I pierce everything, nose, lips.
But you make the same amount of money on all of them?
Yeah, everything is about the same price. Yes.
Is there anything you like to do better?
Everything.
No, come on, you have to pick one. That's not the game.
I just started a consulting business.
Okay.
So I would like that to do a lot better.
Okay.
I would like that to do a lot
Tell
better.
us
But the
more.
piercing wise, I would like to do better is let me see, it's a lot with that. Most likely I just want to get myself out there. That's what I would like to do.
So general visibility. You're happy to take any service.
Yes.
Okay, so this goes the same piercing, hair, skin, literally if you sell fishing bait, it's the same. Okay. So I think that the main thing is that you need to determine what 3 things you want to be known for. And what those 3 things are not your hair, not the piercing, not whatever. No. You get more specific than that. It's how it's how you want people to feel after the service with you.
Okay.
Generally speaking, you can pick one service. So like if that's what I was pushing you, you got a lot going on. So I get it. So like, let's just say you want to be the ear piercer of all ear piercers.
Okay.
Because also, by the way, that's like a dying thing. Like
it is
with a little girl, it's hard to find somewhere and she wants her ears pierced real bad. So like, it's hard to do. Like the only option is Claire's at the mall, and like probably a great option, but I bet going to somewhere like with you, I would have a different experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, because I don't use the guns.
So like, great. So experience is also something that we can probably lean into. So I would say like pick one service that you really want to like blow up, pick up how you want people to feel and what you want them to say about the experience with you. This is also a key on figuring out how to build that authentic brand. It's like, I want people to say this about their experience with me. That's usually pretty clear or indicative of what your core values would be, like in there somewhere, right? Because you want people to feel like you took really good care of them.
Mm-hmm.
If they felt like you've literally changed their lives. Like those are 2 very different things that you need to communicate depending on which one you choose, right?
Yeah.
So and then really I would say something about the hospitality of it all, and like and including the service. So like, is there something very different? Like you don't use the gun. That would be the thing that I would really pinpoint. And I would just shout those 3 things from the rooftops as many different ways as you can on social, via email, in the 3-part promo system, online, everywhere, right?
Yes.
And in person. And I would make sure that those things are big on your website. They're big everywhere. Right? Like everywhere. Like those are the things that because you have to be known for something. You can't be known for everything. Like, sorry, you can't be. Not at first. You can over time, but if you need visibility, if you need more clients, you got to start somewhere.
I got you.
Even if you're like, I don't love that thing that much and I just want them all, you get them in there, then you upsell them. They got their ears done, they get another earring, they get their nose, they get like whatever, right? There's lots of places.
Got you. Okay.
So I that would be my suggestion. Just really like pick those 3 things and hammer it home and shout it from the rooftops and make sure that you stick with it. Can we just like all put our Scouts honor right here and say that, oh, is it 2 fingers? I was like 3.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know either. That's why I was like, I tried and then I thought, well, we'll just put our hand up and say yes. That you're going to give this more than 15, 20 days. You're going to give it 90 days.
Okay.
Stick freaking with it. Your whole hand. Excellent. I love it. High five, Christina. It just literally, you've got to give it more than everybody quits before you get momentum. Like, come on. You deserve more than that. 90 days, please. Thank you very much.
I sure will.
All right, Hippie.
Yay, Hippie, you'll have to keep us posted. I'll follow up with you in 90 days. You bet.
Please, I sure will.
We'll do a follow-up. It'll be
Okay.
great. And then
Thank
next time
you.
you can join us on the GlossGenius stage.
Oh, yay.
I love it.
Thank you.
I love it. Okay, I saw 2 other folks who said that they wanted to come on stage as well. I want to give them, I think it was Sally Forrest. I'd love to welcome you to the stage. If you wouldn't mind, I'm going to invite you to participate. Okay, let's try this. Hopefully it works. Sally, feel free to share your camera or not. It's totally up to you. While we're waiting for Sally, could you answer Maria's question?
Oh yeah. Oh, there's Sally.
Sally.
Hey, Sally. Hey.
I'm good. If you want to answer her question, go ahead.
Okay, I will. So yes, so I have a course called Visibility. It's kind of the cornerstone of all the things that I share in terms of growing clientele. And basically we use business listings like crazy. And so it's the simplest, it's in the simplest sense, it's Yelp and Google, and you need to be on both of those all the time. There's a whole strategy, and like I have a whole masterclass and all these things. So, like it's more than we can share here, but absolutely you can send me a DM and we can talk more about it. But it's basically that you need to be a master of Yelp and Google, and you need to get a lot of reviews, and you need to be present on those things online that are off social media. You don't have to fight the algorithm. You just share what you do, and you do really well. That'd be a great place for you to talk about those 3 things.
Love it. Thank you so much for asking that, Maria. Sally, welcome. We're so excited.
Hello. Thank you for having me.
What's on your mind? Please share.
So I just have a really quick question. I'm about 2 years into running my solo studio, and I am in a position now where I am getting ready to just really revamp everything. Right? I've been thinking a lot about the rebranding, because I don't really feel that I've branded myself as clearly as I would like to.
Got it.
So I'm really looking at my spaces, and I'm looking to incorporate, all 5 senses. I want somebody to walk in to the space and, instantly know like they're going to have a good time. And,
Okay.
walk away feeling like they're, they came for they got what they came for, and maybe a little bit more. So,
is that your question, or there's more question?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, what would you kind of recommend in terms of kind of being able to incorporate all of that? I mean,
yeah, you're seeing clients today, but you want to change tomorrow, like. Okay, so I've got 2 things. First thing is, when we hit this, like, I need to rebrand thing, it actually usually has, so I shake my finger at you, so sorry. Like, it usually has to do with the fact that we're feeling something in our business and has actually nothing to do with what our clients are feeling. So number 1, I'd ask you to take a look at that and figure out like where that's coming from, and what in your business, maybe you need a system, maybe you need a new strategy, maybe you need a little bit of support. I don't know. Like these sort of things are generally there. Like generally speaking, like there's something shaky, and you've only been there 2 years. So like shakes are encouraged, right? Like shake that out.
Sure.
Upward. The second thing I would ask is, what's your point of difference? Like you seem really fun. So like,
thank you.
Like, what is it that is above and beyond for clients? Like, what is that? Like, what is the thing that you do that I don't do? Because I'm sure I don't. Right. And
that kind of makes it stand out a little bit more. it's hard for me to pinpoint that one thing, right? Because I got my aesthetics license 10 years ago specifically because I wanted to do makeup. But
Okay.
I've actually been more focused on lashes the last several years, and I've been fairly successful with it. So I've been trying to kind of figure out, you were just talking with Hippie about, what's the thing that, you want to stand out. I would love to be able to incorporate both of those things together and find kind of niche ways to, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like,
you got to put your magnets out there and get the magnet effect going. Like that's what
right.
it is. So, okay, but you said something that I want to go back to. So you said,
Mhm.
I want to give them a great service and then more than they bargained for, or something along those lines. So, like, what is that more?
I think it's that feeling of kind of like unexpectedness, right? Like when you first walk into the space, like I have a lot of very, very loyal regulars that are, repeatedly coming back week after week. However, for the new people coming in, I would like for them to be kind of pleasantly surprised by, the space. And I just think a lot about like my space being, the blank walls are kind of boring and they're just not doing it for me. And I just feel like I want somebody to come in and be like, like let me let me offer them a drink, a water bottle, pitcher, whatever,
Okay,
we do
I've
all
got
kinds
it.
of stuff. So
I've got it. Okay. So here's what you need. Here's my suggestion to you. And this is something that I have a lot of people. This is a great, like literally everybody should do this, even if you're kicking ass and taking names. Okay. Like everybody needs to do this because it is just a reminder and something that I do honestly quarterly for my salon. So go through when you need, this is what I call a customer journey audit, right? Like you're going to go through and you're going to look at every freaking touch point that a client has with you from when they hear about you to the time that they leave. And then the in between is actually where you're going to make the difference here. But I want you to we're not gonna worry about that yet. I just want you to look at it and go, okay, I'm sitting down in the chair, like, and then you're gonna put yourself physically in it. You're gonna go to the website, you're gonna go to your Gloss or and say, okay, I'm clicking here. Well, that actually doesn't even make sense. I need to move that up here because this is the lashes are the most requested service. Move it up, make it easier. Look for things to make it easy. Then lay in your bed. Lay in your bed and look at the ceiling. Am I smart?
I do. I take naps a lot.
Okay, good for you. Good for you. Move over. I'm coming.
My bed is very comfortable.
Yeah. Like, look, are there cobwebs? Like, if you're a hairdresser, look down. Like, is the foot thingy on your chair, is it loose? Is there like a stain that you don't see standing, but you see on the wall? Put yourself physically and look with the most discerning eye. And then
I have done that actually. There's a spot on our ceiling. We have the recessed lighting, and there's a spot on the ceiling that drives me nuts. And I just want to come in and like have somebody paint a mural on the ceiling or something ridiculous because I just can't deal with that light spot. So yes, I've done that.
And then go back and say, how could I make that part better? How can I make that part better? And I would challenge you to say that like having a mural on the wall or artwork like does give us it does create, it helps us. But the biggest thing is how you show up, your energy. Like I could be like in a trash can doing this and you would still feel my energy. Right? Like, cause I'm showing up as me. So that's the part that like, I would really encourage you to do, but also think of those 3 things and infuse them in everything, because whether that's the art that you pick or the things where you say, how can I just take this a little bit further for them? Not about how can I make more money? You're going to make more money when you put them first. There's no way around it.
I'm not super concerned about that. It's more in my brain. I'm like, I want this to be a space that, I am very, very comfortable in and that it does show, my authentic self and, really make it my own so that I can.
Go ahead, Dan.
Sorry.
I think that you can clear up some of that energy and the effort that's being put into thinking about all of those reminders and tasks that you like will obviously drive yourself crazy if you're trying to make all of that happen. So right now with us,
it's baby steps.
Can we just take a breath? I mean, just remember that you are wearing all of these hats, and it is a lot, but you can do this. I had a question. Do you automate, like, are you on GlossGenius by any chance? How do you
Oh
run your
yeah.
business?
Yeah,
Okay,
I've been on Gloss for the last you guys have been my primary go-to for the last like 2 years. So
okay, amazing.
yeah, it's a lot. It's been very beneficial.
I, I want to empower you that you can, without worry, almost like I'm compelled to say the word like abuse, but I want you to use GlossGenius as much and make that subscription as much as worth it as possible so that
Mhm.
you can take off as much as you need off of your plate. Automate wait lists, automate these comms, make
Yep.
booking site be that first instance of connection, like you were saying. And it doesn't have to come physically from your body. You can set yourself up for success and your clients as well. New ones, the ones who come in every week, people who have never heard of you before, by creating that customization and having a booking site that does all of that for you, it kind of empowers you in the end to say, you know what? I can take this off my plate and I don't have to think about it. But when you set that stuff up ahead of time, that intrinsically will help someone understand, oh, they're prioritizing me. They want me to get this as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
When all
Absolutely.
else
Well, thank
fails,
you.
go to customer service.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you,
I
ladies.
love it. Thank you so much, Sally. We appreciate you. I love Pamela's comment. Automating is the new outsourcing. And honestly, save you money, save you time, save you stress. Let's do that. That's our 2024. This is our year, y'all. And we're not going to let anything like that stop us from hitting our potential, and not letting it weigh us down. Thank you so much,
Absolutely.
Sally.
Thank you.
Of
Thank
course.
you, Lexi.
Have a great, and I'm going to follow up with you too, okay? 90 days for you too. That's what the doctor said.
Got it. Have a good night, ladies.
So fun. I'm like 100% serious. I don't know how many more questions we can answer, but if you guys send me a DM, I will answer your questions too. Like always.
Based on how many people want to chat, I think that might be the best thing. I want to make sure that we cover a couple more points, Lexi, that give you a chance to share some of your wisdom. I think in regards to what we were just talking about in terms of designing that client experience, how does that trickle down for them? How do you create that automation within your business so that you can stay authentic to your brand, show your true colors through your booking site? Maybe it's using Genius AI to help write a mass marketing message. Have you ever thought about that before? I'm truly asking you for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, we do all kinds of things. I love ChatGPT.
Yes,
I love AI
for sure.
Yeah, I'm like, hi. If this was around when I went to school,
we get encouraged all the time. I mean, this is a tool. Why don't we embrace it? But I'm even thinking about like reminders, things that you can take off of your plate.
You have to
stay authentic to who you are and like kind of do what you do best.
Well, for me, this is like not exactly on script, but to be truly authentic to myself means I get to play a lot and not worry about my business.
Tell us more.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really I am the best efficiency worker to cut the corners but have it still be awesome. I'm like an A minus person for real. I'm a type A, but I'm an A minus. Real type A's don't really like me that much.
Okay.
Because I'm like, that's a waste of time. We're still getting the same results. So you go waste your time, but I'm not doing that. Okay. Let's be real. So, and it's just what it is. So, and I can't change that about me because I want to go play. I want to drink margaritas in the sunshine. I want to read a book. I want to hang out with my husband and my daughter. Don't we all just want to be us? That's really how you know who you are when, how do you feel your best and all those things. So, when it comes to actually doing it and taking care of the clients and that sort of thing, it's how can I do this in the most efficient way? And I use I'm literally I don't send reminders. And if my clients don't show up, then we auto charge their card. Let's let all that just happen. right? Like, why do I like that? To me is just the simplest thing. And I definitely outsource to like my robot, which is what I call GlossGenius, right? That's what I call it to my clients. I don't call it Gloss. I just say like, hey, my bot is going to text you reminders and this sort of thing. And they're like, okay, cool. And I will say that I also like, I love technology as an outsource, but I also love people, and you'd be shocked at what you can get done with a little bit of support for not very much money. And it's like the time and the open loops and the brain hammering, like it just can go away if you have people that help you to do things. But the main thing that allows me to show up and like live my actual life is having a plan in my business and knowing where I'm going and having systems, strategy, and support in order to make those things happen. And frankly, like there's just no other way to do it, depending on the level of success you're looking to go to. And like, look, people that are here hanging out with us are not like sitting around just like waiting for stuff to happen to them. Like they're spending time doing this. They're elevating themselves. They're amplifying their business, or at least they want that. They may not know how to do it, but you know, and there's a lot of stuff to do to make that happen, which look, I get it. I'm doing a lot of things too. But it's about just deciding like what is most important and working in what I do in 90-day chunks, right? In a quarter system, and saying, this is what I'm going to focus on, and just work on that thing. Like, don't try to do it all at one time, but you do need to have a plan to know where you're going. Otherwise we're going to be in trouble. Like you're going to feel burnout, and then you definitely can't show up authentically, you know? And that's how we communicate with clients. That's the real trickle down of the whole thing. It's, am I taking care of my clients? Am I, showing up for them? Like today, okay, here's, I think, a pretty good example of community in my salon. My first client this morning, her husband died 3 weeks ago. Like we've all been there. It sucks, like dealing with a client going through something horrible. And we know what that feels like. The whole salon gave her a hug today. Anybody that knew her or that had worked with her that was my previous assistant, like, how do you, that's just like unreal. So like, those are the kind of things where it's just like, how do you take care of the client that has absolutely nothing to do with the hair? But then you better talk about your products. You better talk about your services. You do all of those things, to show up for yourself in your business.
But you're a human.
You're a freaking human, and so are they, right? It's not just like I'm the guy with the watches in my jacket showing you, you know what I mean? Like it's more than that. We do so much more than that. And I think when we talk about business, we can get so caught up in like, right? And I'm trying to do like rapid fire coaching in those moments. And so thank you to both of the gals that came up on stage with us. But like, it's just, you just have to remember there's so much more to it than that. And you're also a human that only has capacity for so much. So you got to honor that in the process, because otherwise the whole thing like isn't really going to pan out, like you burn out, and then you lose all your hard work,
We talk about this a lot throughout the year, and like for May and Mental Health Awareness Month, we usually put a roundtable or an event like this together that provides support to pros who are running a beauty business of all different kinds, that provide ideas and skills to clear up ways, or to give you ways that can clear up that anxiety, or to give you the tools that you can use throughout your business. And maybe it is working through confidence. Maybe it's working through setting those boundaries. Those are all things that are true to your brand and true to your authentic self. So something I'm taking away from tonight, honestly, Lexi, is that that line you mentioned around just because you know your, what was it again?
Just because you know who you are doesn't mean that you know yourself.
Just because you know who you are doesn't mean you know yourself yet. Yes, I'm gonna add the yet because it's not a period, it's an and. And yes. I hope everyone walks away tonight with an opportunity to make that and to keep it going, because everyone who shared, like Sally and Hippie who joined us tonight, thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing those problems. I bet you that someone tonight felt exactly the same way. I saw it, in fact. I'm really, really, really stoked. Aisha, I'm so glad that you've been with GlossGenius for a while, and this month has been a month for you to use all the things that this subscription has to offer. I mean, guys, let's be real. Talk about making money. Let's save some money, and let's make some really wise decisions for our businesses that are not only cost efficient, but are effort efficient. And at the end of the day, like I said, this is our year. So whether you're working on your marketing or your business site, wanting to gain new clients or retain the ones that you have that are loyal and attracting that loyal clientele, it all comes down to support, strategy, and what was the other S?
Systems. I'm like, I forgot.
Support and strategy. I mean, Lexi, like tonight you've given us so many golden nuggets to take home, and I can speak for our entire community. Thank you, thank you, thank you for making this so easy for us to digest. We will be sharing out a recording of this event. Thank you to everyone who's joined. Right before we log off and before anybody leaves, I want to make sure that we close out with our exciting giveaway opportunity. So here's how it works, y'all. Lexi and I are going to, in a minute, pose, and we're going to give you guys a chance to either take a screenshot or take a picture of the screen, whether you're watching on your tablet or your laptop or whatever. And this will be an opportunity for you to take a picture, post it on your Instagram story, tag GlossGenius and Lexi Lomax. Here, I will copy her link one more time.
It's just Lomax Lexi, right? So super easy, but it's backwards.
And then also tag GlossGenius. And most importantly, in order to qualify for this really special giveaway that Lexi is offering all of you tonight, one lucky winner will be chosen as long as you have taken this picture, you post it tonight, you tag GlossGenius and Lexi, and you share your biggest takeaway. It can be our system support and synergy. What was it? Strategy. Add a fourth S.
Yeah,
it can be
whatever you want.
Whatever the mic drop moment was. I want to see one of you win this, and I'm so excited. I can't wait to hear what comes out of one of these strategy sessions. And we are so lucky to have someone like Lexi Lomax in our community, not only as a fellow GlossGenius, but also as an incredible mentor for our industry. So, Tiffany, I will make sure that you get the recording. Don't worry, girl. I got you.
I am like dead serious, you guys. My DMs are always open. I'm here for it. I will answer what I can. If it requires a little bit more, I'll probably go to stories. I'll take care of you. I won't leave you hanging. I'm really quite passionate about you getting the help that you need, because your beauty business can be the thing that literally changes your life.
And on that note, let's pose. Give these people a chance to take the pic, okay? 3, 2, 1. Take a second, take a screenshot, give you a little wink.
I can't wink. I won't do that.
All right, perfect. That hopefully was enough time. So go ahead, share it on Instagram tonight on your stories. What's one thing that you're taking away from this evening that you found just so profound? And make sure that you tag GlossGenius and Lexi so that we can get all those entries, and we'll announce the winner tomorrow. Thank you all, and I'm so excited. You'll see the recording later this week. Thank you.
Have
a lovely, lovely evening. Bye-bye.